2 out of 5 stars. It's time for them to quit. Not a fan of this. And the plot is nothing fresh or new. And wow, Dave is crabby in this. I think every single one of his lines is him scolding the Chipmunks. Also, it took Dave until the 4th film to adopt the Chipmunks? What the heck?
Well, that's a good point.
Welcome once again to the room of us think tanks putting our minds together to focus on the real scientific issues of the world, the Chipmunk movies. Here we're delving into, yet again, for the last time, the final Alvin and the Chipmunk movie, Road Chip. Not a numbered sequel, not anything like that. It seems to me like this was like made like years after the third one. It seems like almost a soft reboot or just like a refresher of the IP a little bit, just to get it back into people's public consciousness.
It's a very shiny movie.
Oh yeah. They put money into this.
Yeah, they definitely did. There's a lot of like human actors and professional dancers in this, and like celebrity cameos. Like they were doing a victory lap essentially. Like whereas the last movie takes place largely on an island that's probably just a set in like a green room. Somewhere.
It's very. The second movie was kind of like a disconnected little adventure, but this one feels sort of like all of the adventures that we've been through culminate with what a road chip.
And what pray tell is a road chip? I don't know, but they do go on. I don't even know if I would call it a road trip, to be honest.
It's I mean, they were taken off the no flying list, so they did have to drive a lot.
It feels kind of like a half-hearted road trip. It goes back and forth on that, whether it wants to be a road trip movie or not. I'll say overall, this movie is kind of an on and off movie as to like what it wants to be. It's all right. It's been serviceable, you know, as a final Chipmunks movie. But I don't know if it lives up to the name Road Chip anything.
You might not be giving it enough credit right now.
Well, oh yeah, what do you think?
I thought it was pretty all right. I like, and so I don't know if
it was okay, I guess.
So I don't think my I don't know if my mind has been like influenced by all the stuff that we've watched over our time on this mortal earth. I don't know if like my taste is altered, but the Chipmunks movies are kind of a delight for me now. I watched the 4th movie and I didn't think, oh god, not another one. I thought finally the conclusion to the to the 4th.
You were looking forward to seeing them, your old pals.
I was actually looking forward to watching it like a lot this time. Like I haven't felt that quite as strongly with our other movies that we've
Stuart Little.
but yeah, like there's something about the Chipmunks in the 4th movie that it was a fun movie. I even enjoyed it more than the 3rd one in some cases, though, you know, the island aspects of the 3rd movie were very funny, and we can't forget those, but
we can't let that, you know, that beautiful setting. We can't forget also Ian. He is no longer in the movies anymore.
He is gone, and he's been replaced by another villain that I don't know if y'all want to get into talking about him yet.
Let's talk about him, because he is like he's there throughout the majority of the film in a way that, like, when you first see him, you think he's going to be kind of like a one-off, like, antagonistic sort of character who you see and he's annoying and, like, there's some, you know, kick him in the nuts humor, and then you just, like, he's gonna go away because he's an air marshal and they're in the plane for like 10 minutes before they get kicked out of the plane, so you don't think he's gonna be around, but he's a persistent motherfucker.
He's incredibly persistent. He's like, for some reason, being air marshal to him means I am a fucking lawman of the world. I wherever you go, I will find you and I will destroy you. He doesn't like the Chipmunks for a very silly reason.
Yes, he was proposing, I guess, to his girlfriend, or giving her a gift on Christmas, and she's like, oh, hey, I'm actually gonna break up with you, and she's like, also, come on, man. What's his name? James?
Something like that.
He's like, come on, James. Chipmunks, grow up. And, like, he suddenly, like, gets all woozy and those rooms start spinning.
God.
And, like, you can hear the, like...
Chipmunks laughing.
Yeah, you hear the Chipmunks laughing. You hear, like, the Christmas song playing in the background, and you, like... There's all these sharp shots around the room to, like, different Alvin and the Chipmunks, like, merchandise. Like, specifically Christmas-themed Alvin and the Chipmunks merchandise, which I bet you that's what probably made them really popular to begin with, was all that Christmas money.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just, like, spinning, and he's just like, no, no, the Chipmunks! You provided the soundtrack to my breakup.
Whenever I think about, I'm so happy that there's a scene like this in this movie, because somebody just, like, being so, like, so distraught that, like, they start to, like, spin around, like, the room is literally spinning around them, and, like, they're suffering, like, some sort of madness, it almost seems like, as a result of these chipmunks. It's so funny to see this man go through a horrible, horrible moment in his life where I assume a very long relationship of his that he cared deeply about. He was very invested in. She didn't seem very invested, though, so who knows. It was funny to see him do that. To see his ears ring and go, oh no, my world.
Well, it provides a very funny contrast to the previous villain, who is 3 movies strong. You know, he has history with the Chipmunks. He has, like, you know, like, there's revenge involved and stuff. Whereas this guy, the Chipmunks technically didn't do anything to him, but they're on the plane illegally. They snuck on with Miles, which is a character we will get to.
We haven't even gotten to the premise of this movie.
Yeah, but they're on the plane with him, and, like, Alvin, like, jumps on top of a seat right in front of this new character, James, the air marshal. And the way he looks at Alvin, it's like his eyes go wide and he kind of, like, sits back and he's like, it's you. Like, he's seeing a ghost of his, like, horrible past come to him. And he's, like, shocked for a moment. And Alvin, you know, thinks he's a fan. And he's like, I'll give you my autograph later. Okay, see you. But, like, I can't imagine what that must have felt like to have the, like, I assume he has, like, nightmares about the night he got broken up with.
Hell, he might even see them sometimes in reality. If, like, like, the way that this, like, scene played out, it's like, it's you again.
Like, stop showing up. Stop.
Get out of my life.
Get out of my head.
Oh, my head.
But yeah, he's I think he's fun. He works. He works for the movie. I can't see a character like him really having the same staying power as Ian. Like, they best him pretty handedly. Like, Ian was kind of scary. Like, he had connections and he had his pole and he could, you know, put them in a little cage, but this guy, he barely can hold on to them for, like, 2 minutes before they escape.
He's incompetent, but he's a good movie. He's a good
He's a good obstacle for the Chipmunks.
Yeah,
he's an authority figure in some way that's like stopping them from their progress, and like, you know, that's just what this movie needs. It doesn't need like anything like the themes doesn't come from like the villain here. He's just like a stopping block. So like, you know, it works for the purpose of what they're trying to tell. And you know, he's funny. You know, he gets drunk. It's funny.
Oh yeah, he gets drunk at the Mardi Gras.
Well, I feel like we need to talk about the entire premise of like the reason why they're going on a road trip in the first place.
We are kind of doing it again, where we're ignoring the part of the movie that like was least interesting to us, and I think we can all agree that the least interesting thing about this movie was that boy.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Let's start at the beginning, I guess.
Right.
Of what this whole thing is about. So, to put it in short words, Dave is seeing somebody new named Samantha. She's a doctor. She constantly shows up with a stethoscope on, so you know she's a doctor. And she's like, "Oh, did I walk out the hospital with my stethoscope again? Whoops!
Whoopsie doodle! I'm so God,
so charming, Samantha. But she has a little teenage son. His name is Miles, and he's a piece of shit.
Little teenage son.
He's like 17. He looks like he's
a Disney sitcom like teenager. So
yeah,
it's one of those.
Oh, so he's probably like 20.
Yeah,
he's probably 20 something.
There's him, and like the premise is that like Miles, for some reason, he just hates these chipmunks and like bullies them the instant he sees them, and like super glues them to walls and stuff, and bullies like Theodore and whatever. And Dave and Samantha, Samantha's his mother, they're largely like they don't recognize this is happening, and they're so in love, and they're like dating for months, and the thought is that Dave is going to propose to her at this big dinner that they're gonna have in Miami, all the way in Miami, while the Chipmunks and Miles have to live together and like play nice with each other. There's a lot of problems with the premise for me, because they're going for a plot. I don't like the trope, right, of like
mean guy, like
the malicious like entity that's like part of like a trusted group that like the victims of said entity are like, you know, oh, they're evil, they're bad, whatever, and then like the trusted parties are like, no, what are you talking about? You're making stuff up.
They never really had a moment like that, like a true moment like that in this movie. It feels like there never was. I feel like a proper Dave, he's evil.
And that's the thing. That's the thing.
They didn't commit to it.
They didn't commit to it, and it just feels kind of half-assed as a way to like, you know, bring this road trip plot to fruition, because they need to hate each other. But
it is
like,
necessary. You know, they must hate each other.
But I feel like they went too hard on like, because like he's just like a relentless bully in the beginning. It's like for no good reason. He's like a animal like abuser.
Like shit starts happening. It's just like, is anybody gonna do anything about this? Like he's doing this in a public place. He's like fucking gluing these chipmunks to things and putting them on spinning wheels.
Hitting them with a golf club.
Putting Simon in the cotton candy machine.
And the other two were letting that happen. I guess they thought it was kind of funny, or either that, or they're either powerless to stop it.
Wait, he sold Theodore. He sold
Theodore, and then they did I like big butts and I cannot lie. Theodore sung that, and like, he's the butt one, you know? So like,
yeah, he's the one with the big butt, in case you don't know. And also, I regret to inform you, this was not the Theodore movie that I was hoping for.
We were so close.
You know, the first one was like the Chipmunks movie. The second one was the Simon movie. The third one was the Alvin movie. Surprisingly, that really was the Alvin movie, and we thought maybe this could have been the Theodore movie. And Theodore has like a bit more of a presence. Well,
Yeah.
I say that it's more that like they do more jokes with him. That isn't just him being afraid of something or something else. He's just like
I don't know if there's a single one of those in this movie, actually. Was there?
I was gonna say there's a moment like at the very beginning of the movie where they're playing mini golf and they shoot a ball through like a little like bear's mouth, like fake bear's mouth, and I thought, oh boy, here comes a joke about how like because they're following the ball, and
It's
so
a
they're following it through,
bear!
yeah, I was thinking, oh, here comes a joke where Theodore's gonna be like scared of the bear thing because he's gonna think it's real, but no, he just runs right through it, doesn't have any problem. He cracks some jokes. He acts a little, dare I say it,
Oh.
was Theodore just kind of a little badass in this movie?
So yeah, he is a little badass because he doesn't feel like our everyday Theodore. He feels a little grown up, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know what? He does feel a little grown up. And there's a moment, like, right at the end where Miles is walking across the street with his headphones in like an idiot, and he's about to get hit by a car, and Alvin and Simon are like, Miles, no! And they throw Theodore, towards him to, like, knock him out of the way.
Like a missile.
And then Theodore gets fucking run over, but, like, he rolls over the top of the car, and, like, they think he's dead.
You know, it's kind of funny that, like, Theodore is the green one, right?
Yes.
And Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho wears a green jumpsuit.
okay, that's not what I was thinking you were going with.
And I'm thinking,
was not.
and I'm thinking, like, you know, he's the green one. Yusuke's the green one. Was this a reference to Yu Yu Hakusho? Must have been.
No.
Well, they saved a kid.
What are you talking about?
Well, they saved a kid from, like, getting hit by a car, and then Theodore got hit instead.
Are you saying he's like a spirit now?
I'm saying he's a spirit, and Theodore
I
might.
think Theodore holds his finger out and he goes, "Spirit gun."
Yeah, I think he has. I think Theodore is working for King Coimba now, and they.
Are you saying like Simon is that orange-haired kid that hangs out with him?
Yeah, Kuwabara.
Kurabara.
Kuwabara. What the heck? What the heck?
What does that? What does that make Alvin?
I don't know. He's
what's
the
the
Rosewood guy. Rosewood.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know. I guess Dave is fucking the one with the eyeball on his head. I don't know. Dave is like really mad all the time, so like that works. Da 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 da. Alvin and the Chipmunks sing the opening to Yu Yu Hakusho.
God, wait! I'm gonna pitch shift that and I'm gonna put it in here. So Theodore's a little grown up. Like, Alvin and Simon are on the same team. This is not a movie where one of the Chipmunks has, like, a character flaw that, like, is damaging towards the others or, you know, hindering progress towards their goal of stopping the engagement. Because they both hate each other, Miles and the Chipmunks. They don't want this engagement to go on, so they are going to travel from California to Miami to stop it. And Alvin and Simon and Theodore have this little motto where they're like, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, you know, just like a Spider-Man.
You mess with one of us!
And they're, like, working together, and they have, like, combo moves they do together to, like, fight
they
bad guys.
slingshot each other just like all the time. It's fun. And, you know, they're going through all of like the United States, like the big thing with like the Air Marshal Agent Suggs, like, is the reason why they're going through the entirety of the United States. They're on the no-fly list. You've seen that image online where they're there.
Yeah.
That's in this movie, and it is very funny to look at in the movie.
It's funny to see, you know, So we mentioned how they got adopted in this movie. Did anyone else think that they were going to the courthouse at first to like get them like taken off the no-fly list?
I kind of thought it was something like that.
I thought it was gonna be that, like it was just gonna be something silly that didn't really matter at all. But like I guess that's why that person in the review was so like, wait, what the fuck? They haven't been adopted yet. I thought they were like a family already.
Well, I guess, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole nother mess. I'm going to take that conversation of, like, the legal rights of chipmunk children, which they say something along those lines. I'm going to take that, I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to put it 10 minutes from now, and then we'll pick it back up again. I'm setting the timer. It's in a safe for now.
Okay.
That conversation will happen.
It will happen in the future, but not right now.
Right now, I want to talk about some of the funny scenes, like New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, that's a great scene.
New Orleans.
We talked about in the third Chipmunk movie, where, like, they kind of just sing. Like, they don't really have any, like, musical numbers. They just have bits where they sing. But here, they really do take advantage of, like, the road trip, like, environment, and like they like have these like big numbers where like, you know, they're singing in a bar, they're singing a country song in a bar, they do a cover of Uptown Funk in New Orleans with the marching band, and that I think that's the best musical number in all of the Chipmunks movies. That's my favorite one.
I agree. Uptown Funk, and what a song I didn't expect to see in this movie.
Well, this is a 2015 movie.
Oh,
it is of the era.
God, 5-6 years even.
More like 6,722, right?
It's been forever since we've had a new Chipmunks movie. I feel I feel morose now.
Well, it's even, dare I say it, better than the witch doctor scene, because it feels very like organic and fun. They're not just like dancing on a stage. They're like, you got the just this marching band in the streets, and like the air marshal guy, he's like drinking moonshine and like crowd surfing, and it's just so like upbeat and fun and like lively. It's very lively. There are a decent amount of like musical numbers in this, which makes it feel like I said, like a victory lap. They're like let's just go to a fun location using this road trip format and have them perform. They have a number at the beginning where the guy from LMFAO is there, and they're just like dancing in the backyard of the big party happening, and the bar thing, the New Orleans, and then they have like a really sweet number at the end, and it's just fun. It's fun to watch.
I have to also make mention, they really sidelined the Chipettes in this movie.
Oh, God.
Well, they're hosting American Idol. They got stuff going on, Rene. They need...
Well,
I do like the implication of that, though, that they are just way more famous than the Chipmunks, and the Chipmunks are kind of just has-beens.
There has been hacks, like, one-hit wonders. That's what it feels like the Chipmunks are. They did that one Christmas song 3 years ago, and they won't let anybody forget about it.
Man.
Now the Chipettes are way more popular than them getting invited to be guest judges on American Idol, and like everywhere they turn, there's people who are like, oh, do you know the Chipettes? Like, he introduced me to Chipettes, because the Chipmunks are has-beens. But the Chipettes do show up for like the final number, and you can kind of see them sprinkled throughout. I love that. I don't know. As sad as I am for the boys, I kind of love the implication that just straight up, the Chipettes are more popular. They're now, like, when you think singing Chipmunks, they're the people you think about. They're the people who are getting invited to award shows and stuff. And the Chipmunks, they're just leading normal lives, and they still, you know, perform locally, but they're not big rock stars anymore. They've like settled in. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, that was Dave's wish, for them to live a life of normal boys.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't really care about the Chipettes. He's just like, you can live your life of stardom. I'm not gonna really adopt you.
Well, like I think 3 is enough, you know, like.
Well, I think they might have noticed the kind of weird thing that we noticed, where we weren't sure if they were like sister brothers or love interests, because in the second movie they end with them living together, and then by the third movie we don't see their living situation, but they are going on like a family vacation, it seems like, together. But then it seems like at the beginning of this fourth movie, when the party gets crashed by Dave, the Chipettes are like, oh, we're gonna go now, like we don't want to get in trouble, and they just like leave. So they obviously don't live there anymore. The bedroom situation has changed as well. We see Alvin and his brother's new bedroom, which is just a little like enclave in the staircase or something. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
But so I guess they noticed that, and they're like, you know what, the Chipettes, they're their own thing. They don't need to be involved in this situation.
The Chipmunks, I can't believe we didn't mention this. The Chipmunks have a room that's proportional to their own bodies now.
I know, it's so incredible.
Took them long enough.
Took them a really long time, but I'm glad that it got there.
Miles as a character is very annoying, I think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
you just constantly want to be like, why do you hate them so much? He never gives a valid reason for being such an asshole to them. He has some sort of character thing where he's like, oh, don't worry, like, the thing with Dave and my mom, it's not going to be real, I know, because, like, my dad left my mom, and, you know, that's a whole, like, sad thing for him. So he's, you know, he's not used to having a permanence in his life, you know, he doesn't have a father figure or like siblings to hold on to. So throughout the movie, he kind of slowly is like getting into that idea more, and he ends up liking the Chipmunks. They end up liking him and getting along, and you know, they end up being excited at the prospect of potentially being brothers. But where in his character, why would that lead to him? I'm not even kidding. Very first interaction with Theodore, he picks him up and like puts him on a little spinning wheel. What are those things? A windmill thing, like one of those things at the putt-putt golf place. And he's just like, yeah, fuck you guys. And they didn't do anything to him. It's like the...
You know what was also like shitty? I one of y'all like pointed it out when we were watching it, when the Chipmunks were just like, we didn't give you a chance. And it's just like, what? No.
Yeah.
Why didn't he
having their
I don't think
having their tearful thing.
I don't think he ever apologized for like being such a dick to them. When literally as soon as he saw them, it's like he saw animals and he was just like, "Oh, cool, something for me to let out my frustration on."
It's like they had two different ideas of like characterization for him that they kind of just had to like piecemeal together for like the road trip like aspect of this movie. And it just kind of goes from like, you know, oh, he's very unlikable and like I don't see how we can like him, to like well, like, I mean, he's the Chipmunks' friends now, I guess, and like they're together and they're ready to be siblings. So I guess we're at that now.
We have
with
to
no real gradient.
We have to make you like this guy really quick. Just like, could you just like bear with us for a second?
What? Like they didn't even have to make him as massive of a dick as he was. Like they could have made him maybe somebody that the Chipmunks didn't necessarily get along with, but wasn't an absolute terror to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe he was like a little lame, or he had different interests than them.
It'd be funny if
like
he was lame.
Toby from the second movie was like the perfect like thing for this, honestly, though.
Oh yeah.
Because like he it felt like that was like more a better like rendition of like this like characterization than what we have with Miles, because he was like, you know, he was irresponsible. He had that arc of where like he didn't care, but like he wasn't like a malicious person,
right.
for no reason. And like he learned to like really have that caring attitude for the Chipmunks, and it's just, we didn't get like that characterization that we needed from Miles. And also he gets like a celebrity girlfriend, I guess, by the end of this movie.
That's a weird little thing they tack on there. I guess if you're friends with the Chipmunks, you can date celebrities.
Maybe
that's a perk.
Suddenly you figure out why you want the Chipmunks to be your brothers-in-laws. It's so you could pick up chicks.
Well, let's talk about Dave adopting the Chipmunks finally. This is the end of the movie, the end of the series. I feel like it's an appropriate discussion to have.
Yes.
So I want to know this. What judge in their right mind saw a man walk in with 3 talking chipmunks and was like, you know what? Yeah, let's give you legal citizenship rights.
Well, a fan. Clearly.
Let's be honest here. Yeah. What I'm concerned about is the implication that like the chipmunks were just sent to school like that with
no.
I mean, I guess they had
history.
like guardianship, quote unquote, but not really like
No social security.
Oh my god.
No.
I want to know Alvin's social security number.
Well, you know, the school thing can maybe be explained the same way the judge way can, because I mean the principal, she was a fan.
Yeah, she was
She was
clearly
a big
there
fan of the chipmunks.
clearly there are powerful people in this world who are fans of the Chipmunks, and they will do whatever is needed to appease those little guys.
Is that how they're getting by in the world? Like, Dave shows up and he's like, "Hey," to the courthouse, and I'm assuming he gave him a call ahead of time or something ahead of time, meeting with the judge, and he's like, "Listen, I want to adopt these guys, these little boys that I've been taking care of. Now they are chipmunks," and the judge is like, I don't know about this, and then he's like, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and she's like, oh well, so let me just get my paperwork ready here, and we'll just get going then, huh? Like, they could bypass any law that way. Like, who would, like, they could just do whatever they want. I bet that's how they get off the no-fly list, is they just, charm their way off of it. No work required.
Like, I think maybe this movie didn't intend for it, or this entire series didn't intend for it. But you could make a lot of similarities, and the time frame tracks to like the Chipmunks and the career of many young pop stars, but mainly coincidentally another rodent type, Justin Bieber. Just
Rodent type.
Well, like beaver. I don't know what I was connecting there. I don't
Justin,
know. I shouldn't have called him that.
Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
No, I don't think it matters that you called Justin Bieber a rodent type. But
But like I feel like there's a social commentary you can read in there about like the influence of like stardom on these like youngsters, like allows them to get away with their mischievous actions with little recourse.
Is that why Miles hates them so much? Because he's that perfect age group of like guy who hates Justin Bieber like a little too much, like to be comfortable.
gosh.
That is an entirely reasonable reasoning for that. So I'd say so.
Maybe he saw them. He recognized the Chipmunks as soon as he saw them, like, for the first time. And then he thought, these guys get away with so much. These guys get away with so much that they need to get a little bit of have a taste of their own medicine, you know what I'm saying?
Get knocked down a peg or two.
Yeah.
These guys have had it too good for too long. I'm sick and tired of their music. I'm sick and tired of every girl I date talking about the Chipmunks. Oh, it's one thing to say for certain is that the Chipmunks and the Chipettes left a huge cultural impact on the world. Might have changed like law as we know it. They have just burrowed their way into society, into everyone's heart and soul, and they ain't leaving anytime soon. This might be the end of their movie series, but they're not going away. That you just wait. They're hibernating right now. They'll be back.
Oh yeah, I see in the future an Alvin and the Chipmunks animated series. Not a series, but maybe another a completely fully animated Alvin and the Chipmunks Leica picture. Not Leica.
Ooh.
Why'd I say Leica?
A claymation Alvin and the Chipmunks.
It's like a really yeah. Don't worry, y'all. Leica's gonna do the next one, and they're not gonna write it, so it'll actually be good.
Jeez.
I think that the sun, it might be coming up, and it might be time to say goodbye to Alvin.
Oh my
It's kind
god.
of sad.
Oh
huh?
my god. Look. Oh my god. It's there. On the screen of the Speakuel, it's a very low resolution image of Alvin, Theodore, and Simon standing next to each other with their hoods up while their arms are crossed.
Oh,
It's so beautiful. Why do you have to torture us like this, Speakuel?
Why are you such a malevolent thing?
Well, I gotta get going, y'all. This really does make me yearn for a different kind of age. Perhaps an ice age?
Perhaps an Ice Age 2?
How about Ice Age 3?
How about Ice
Seven.
Age 4?
all right. Thanks everyone for coming. We're going now. We'll get to that Ice Age when we get to it. Hopefully before I have a meltdown.
Hey, everybody.
I've been Rene.
How about the scratch shorts?
I'm Lucy.
I'm Gert.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.